I have no idea what time it was when I woke up. All I knew was that it was night and the moonlight was creating scary shadows in my room. I hated waking up like this. Every night when I went to bed, I hoped and I prayed that I would sleep through it. But it was rare that I did. I have no nightlight and the tiny basement window usually doesn't let in much light. I know what you're thinking. Who would let a kid sleep in the basement without even a nightlight? Well, we live in a 2-bedroom basement apartment. My dad did try to install one, but the faulty wiring linked in my room makes them burn out within a day. My dad says it's dangerous and that it could start a fire, so I had to be a big boy and sleep in the dark. I didn't mind so much before, but starting a month ago I've been waking up at night. As usual, my imagination would run wild and shadows would turn into scary monsters coming to get me. I would sit in my bed for a few minutes and as if I was frozen, imagining everything that could be lurking in my room. Then, with a sudden burst of courage, I would run for the door and sneak into my dad's room. He was usually too sleepy to protest, but the next day I would get scolded. Tonight was no exception. I was there, sitting in my bed after waking up, imagining shadowy threats. I was just about to get enough courage to run when suddenly a voice creeped out from the shadows.
Your grandma is dead, and your mother too. Look under your bed, or you will be too.
Every inch of my body had goosebumps and I could feel tears streaming down my cheeks. I didn't want to die, and I didn't want to look. I sat there, terrified.
Your grandma is dead, and your mother too. Look under your bed, or you will be too.
I had no choice. I had to look. I crouched on the side of my bed and slowly lowered my head to be able to see under it. The whole room was quiet, but I could hear my heart beat incredibly loud in my head. It was dark, incredibly dark. I took a few seconds to look at the pitch black emptiness under my bed. Nothing. I was absolutely relieved and lifted my head back up. I was now face to face with a childlike being, with black hollow eye sockets, bluish green damp skin and black hollow mouth which seemed like it was swallowing any trace of light. I was frozen in fear and couldn't make a sound. And I woke up. It was morning. My room was filled with the sunlight and I was so happy. I remembered my nightmare and started to cry. Part of it was because of how terrified I'd been, but another part was because it made me miss my mom so much. It had been 2 years since she passed away and I missed her every day. Whenever I was sad, like I was now, it was as if I could feel her soft hand touching my cheek, as if I could hear her whisper to me softly that everything would be alright. Like I could see her floating like an angel, the sunlight imitating her soft blonde hair. I prayed to her to take me away from those nightmares. She smiled at me and took me in her arms. Then I thought, wait, is my mom actually there holding me this time? Did she make it all go away? That's when I realized. I looked back at my bed. There I was, seemingly asleep, only I wasn't breathing. I looked back at my mom, only to see those same terrifying, hollow black eyes.